Dernière ligne droite de la matinée, mais on se retrouvera évidemment cet après-midi. Et je vous le disais tout à l'heure en préambule, une édition réussie de sa marque, eh bien c'est un rendez-vous avec des stars. Céline Bouvier, elle a interrogé depuis New York RAJAMANNAR, c'est le président de la Fédération mondiale des annonceurs, l'un des top dirigeants de Mastercard, Chief Marketing et Communication Officer et président Healthcare de Mastercard. RAJAMANNAR, c'est à vous tous les deux.
Good morning, Raja. Thank you for taking the time to inspire the participants of SAMAR conference in Paris today. This morning, we discuss value and values as key drivers to build robust brands. What are the top 2 strategies you are driving to deliver value at Mastercard?
So firstly, Celine, it's wonderful being at this forum. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share a few thoughts. The values and the value and the top strategies around it. Firstly, I'll talk of the values. We are talking of, this is the time when every brand has to be completely authentic. It should be guided by a purpose, not for a political correctness reason, but really embody into the day-to-day working of the company. It's a way of thinking, it's a way of living. So you need to have a purpose, you need to be authentic to that purpose, and you need to do things which deliver to that purpose, which brings that purpose to life. So for example, there could be several causes, which is cause marketing, which by itself is not purpose, but these causes would actually drive you towards your purpose. So we have articulated very clearly as our first strategic step at Mastercard, the aspect of what our purpose is. It's a very, very good manifesto, very crystal clear in how it has been articulated. And then we said, what are the various initiatives that will bring this purpose to life? And marketing is actually in the best position to bring our purpose to life. So we embarked on so many number of initiatives that are very important for this. And they are not just about doing things for philanthropic reasons. When you pursue your purpose, profits will follow. So the business will automatically grow as well. So we are actually finding those points of intersection. So we work with World Food Program, we work with Stand Up the Cancer Foundation, we are working with a whole bunch of organizations in partnership and trying to bring various initiatives to life. So this is the first part of it, on the values. How do we bring value? Is one of the key things that we have realized is that people are passionate about many things in their lives. Mm-hmm. We try to understand what those passions are for people. And in those areas of passion, we curate and create experiences that money cannot buy, but you can get them only with a MasterCard. So that's a true differentiated value that we provide to our customers and card members. And that's what we have been doing. And particularly with the pandemic having come in, a lot of experiences that we used to give before, they have all come to sort of closure, literally, because everything was shut down. So we quickly pivoted to digital experiences. So where experiences will come to your home or wherever you are, and you experience the interactions with some of your celebrity idols that you have, or you have got some cooking lesson with some Michelin-starred chef, various kinds of experiences that suit your passions. So this is how we are pursuing the approach of creating a differentiated value for MasterCard customers, and on the other hand, to pursue the values that the company tries to embody.
That's very strong. Thank you for that. And so Raja, you recently published a book called Quantum Marketing to inspire marketeers in order to help them to face the multiple challenges they have. How do you explain the vulnerability of the marketing function today?
Yeah, so marketing function at this point in time is in a very, very vulnerable position. There is actually an existential crisis for this function. When various surveys were done amongst CEOs of many companies, many of the CEOs and the CFOs have said that they have little to no confidence either in their CMOs or in their marketing teams. Now that's terrible.
Which
The
is
confidence for what? Confidence to grow the business. They're saying, I don't trust my marketers to be able to drive the growth of the company. Now, that's dangerous. Number two, many roles of CMOs in many companies are getting eliminated. And these are not some obscure industrial companies which barely do marketing, but I'm talking about blue chip packaged goods companies like even Johnson & Johnson have eliminated the role of CEOs. Third, they are bringing in a number of C-suite positions into the companies like Chief Growth Officer, Chief Revenue Officer, Chief Customer Officer. Now, if you take away growth, revenue, and customers from marketing, what else is left in marketing? That's another big problem that we are having right now. And lastly, marketing as a function is being fragmented. In the old days, we used to talk about the 4 Ps of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. Today, many companies don't handle product as part of marketing. Most of the companies don't handle pricing. Most companies don't handle place, which is distribution and logistics. So marketing is barely handling one of the 4 Ps, which is promotions, in some thematic or schematic fashion. So the combination of all these is why I say that marketing is in a very vulnerable position today, and it is facing an existential crisis, unfortunately.
so. How would you describe the specific context we are navigating in as marketeer? How is it truly different from the previous disruption? And what do you think about the implications on how we can build robust brand?
So previous times that marketing was disrupted, typically there were a couple of technologies which disrupted marketing. Marketing was being practiced since antiquity. It's nothing new. But when television and radio came, there was a big change and a big shift in how marketing was being done. When internet and data analytics came, marketing moved from what I call the second paradigm to the third paradigm. Then when iPhone and other mobile connected devices came and the social media platforms became very big, these two have disrupted marketing again completely. So today, if you look at the past, every big paradigm was ushered in by a couple of technologies. But now there are going to be more than 24 technologies that are coming at us, starting from artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, 3D printing, 5G telecommunications. You got autonomous driving cars, Internet of Things, wearables. There are so many things, blockchains, which are all coming at us like a tsunami, that people's lives will be totally disrupted, and marketing's disruption will be unprecedented in level, scope, and scale. Literally a quantum leap is going to happen at this point in time. So as I have mentioned in my book, Quantum Marketing, I try to identify these various technologies, the most important ones of those, and show marketers how exactly the impact is going to be for marketing and what marketers should do to prepare themselves to leverage those technologies to their advantage, as opposed to being made obsolete by these technologies. So it's going to be a very, very interesting time at this point in time. Most important thing for me is marketing is about 3 key pillars. It's about building and protecting the brand. It's about driving the business growth in a profitable and a sustainable way. And third, building a competitive advantage for the companies or for the brands that they manage against competition, right? And this competitive advantage is going to be very critical, very sustainable, is what they have to make. Now, if you look at these 3 pillars, you should realize that technology is going to disrupt every one of these. Data is going to disrupt every one of these. And the third angle is cultural shifts which are happening in various societies is going to be totally disruptive. So marketers need to understand technologies very well, or at least have people on their teams who understand technologies extremely well. They need to have people who understand data very well. They need to understand people who understand the softer aspects of people in a very good way. That's, creativity, aesthetics, psychology, sociology, anthropology, neurology. You combine these and get the power of marketing to the fore. Easier said than done. But the time to prepare for that is today. And that's the only way you can actually survive and thrive tomorrow. Otherwise, before you know, you become obsolete and somebody would have run over you and taken over either your position or your company's position, either way.
Raja, thank you. You described very well the levers. Now, if you had only one advice to give to the community today that is listening to you, what would that be?
See, I would say that firstly, tomorrow, when all these technologies come, companies will struggle to differentiate and win because everything gets democratized in the face of technology and data. So companies require marketing to be able to differentiate in the marketplace and win. So there is no better time to be in marketing than today. However, to be able to differentiate and to be able to stay ahead of the game, marketers have to understand clearly the technologies and the data aspects, as also the softer aspects of marketing, like the psychology, neurology, and so on. They have to either equip themselves through continuous education and upgrade their skill, or they need to hire people around them to make sure that as a team, it is like a Leonardo da Vinci team, which thinks from left brain and right brain and be very effective combined, right? That's what marketers need to do today. That's very critical. They should realize that they're in an existential crisis already. If they don't pick up, if they don't educate themselves, if they don't put very strong teams in place, they will get completely sidelined. And but on the other hand, this is the golden moment for marketing to showcase what it can do, and it can truly really win the game for the companies. So from that perspective, I think it's a very inspiring time. So on the one hand, there are challenges, but the opportunities are so inspiring. I hope the viewers now will pay attention to it. And like I said, I mentioned in my book, some very simple approaches to how to really navigate this future. So I have got more than 1 or 2 pieces of advice. It's almost like a playbook for the future. And I hope your viewers will get to read it and absorb, and hopefully they'll be inspired by it.
That's very exciting. One last question, Raja, because you are also the president of the World Federation of Advertisers. So let's say you are the Union des Marques mother brand in a way. In this fast changing environment, can you tell us what are the main priorities of this organization?
See, firstly, WFA is all about helping marketers do better marketing. So we start with education. We start with governmental policies, where we try to enable the entire ecosystem with the governmental support or regulations, etc., to be very pragmatic. Number 3, we do a lot of educational sessions for marketers to come up this skill. Then the other area, which is very important, is to really shine the spotlight on some of these emerging areas. Like I believe 2 years back, we did a comprehensive study around smart speakers as an example. So even before smart speakers started getting deep, we already had a very detailed and a thorough analysis of that. So we are trying to be as resourceful to marketers as possible on the one hand. Then there are a lot of industry challenges that we have. Like you got social media platforms, and they have got their own agenda, we have got our agenda. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that it is the brand owners who are funding the entire social media ecosystem through our advertising dollars. So we have to make sure that our money is being spent well, that we know what we are getting in return for the money that we are spending. So we are working with all the social media platforms under the auspices of a task force we formed called GARM, which is Global Alliance for Responsible Media. Because if one single company goes and talks to a social media platform, which is gigantic, nothing is going to happen. We collectively as marketers have to come together. So on behalf of all the marketers, all the brands, WFA has formed this group called GARM, and GARM is actually negotiating. And we have got some very good momentum happening in terms of things like how do you define hate speech? How do you make sure that the social media platforms are adhering and respecting the demands of the marketers as it pertains to their brands, where they can show up, where they cannot show up? How do you be able to audit these third-party audits for the social media platforms and so on. So there are multiple initiatives we are doing of this sorts. So a lot of exciting things are going to come down the pike. But the whole idea, my personal passion is for WFA is to bring back the gravitas, the glory, and the glamour of marketing back.
Oh, I like that, and I'm sure we are all with you in this for this challenge. So Raja, on behalf of the French community, thank you very much for those inspiring thoughts. We will now, I'm sure, read your book, and we hope we will welcome you in Paris next time in person. Thank you very much.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much. All of you, please stay safe and be well.
Voilà, formidable entretien réalisé par Céline Bouvier avec RAJAMANNAR, donc le président de la Fédération mondiale des annonceurs. Voilà comment repenser sa vision du marketing. Allez voir son dernier livre, donc Quantum Marketing. Voilà, vous pourrez évidemment revoir ceux et celles qui se sont succédés ce matin sur le site de l'Union des marques pour tous les adhérents, bien entendu.